Superhomes, where g'day Dan.
G'day Bob.
Dan Saunders, Bob Burnett, Dan and Bob show. We're just back here at Summerfield Street and our zero carbon Superhomes and climate positive Superhomes is what we're calling it now.
But it was actually through the calculations actually carbon negative, right?
Yep, we were better than zero as it turned out.
It was negative carbon, so it sequestered more than it embodied. So
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. So what's happening at the moment is they're putting up the eco panel wall panels for House A, which is our new studio and demonstration project. And then, so this house is a little bit different because it's got a timber floor. This is the carbon negative one, and the other houses have a concrete slab. So that's the main difference really, and the main sort of carbon component of the build is the concrete. So even the other homes B, C and D, they have low carbon concrete, so that just means there's an additive put into the concrete, some fly ash is added to replace some of the cement, so that makes it 40% less carbon, which gets it close to zero, but this one here is just tipping over better than zero. And so great to see the panels going up today, and
mid floor next week, and then the first floor panels, and then on from there.
Yeah. So Dan, you're making the panels off-site.
Yep. So they're already made off-site, sitting there waiting to go. So we're waiting on the timber floor. Now that's done. We had the exterior wall panels. Guys are doing fixing that, straightening that at the moment. And we'll mid floor next week, and then onto the 8th floor, and then truss roof structure. So. Should come together pretty quick. It will come together pretty quick. We've already got the windows sitting downstairs on the ground in the pallet, so they're the European windows, so they were ordered well before we needed them off the plans.
Yep.
Didn't wait till we had a hole to measure. We made the windows and made the hole to suit the windows.
Yeah. So for the lay person, the typical standard procedure in New Zealand is site measure for windows. So once the house's walls are up, someone comes along and measures, and then someone goes off and makes the windows, and that's kind of not really how it's done in other countries. It's just a New Zealand anomaly, I think.
I've been doing it for years, where I've been site measuring even before, like even 20 years ago, I was measuring the holes, site measuring off the measuring off the plans, and then getting the windows made to suit, because we know how to work out the drops for the soffit heights and all that sort of stuff. You can be waiting up to 6 weeks from a site measure just for standard aluminium. So it's a 6 weeks delay.
Yeah.
And you can crack on to doing something else. So if you time it right, when your roof goes on, your windows are there ready to go. The soffits are up into it.
Yeah, totally. It's just a matter of good scheduling and project management. In some cases, like Dan mentioned, the windows might be ordered before the build starts, or when the slab's going down, and then there's a bit of lead time for the freight, but that doesn't matter as long as they're ordered at the right time. And there's no need for a lot of the delays that we see in New Zealand construction methods. The walls here, the walls go up in a matter of days rather than weeks or months, and nothing gets wet. It's all dry. So I guess it's probably close to sort of cost neutral, because you're saving more time on site. It's probably a little bit more for the panels. It's higher quality construction too, but it kind of balances out in this bigger scheme of things.
Well, if you're talking, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about, say, eco panel versus building code, ESIT is more expensive.
Yeah.
Because there is more materials, better quality products.
Yeah.
But if you're building to the same specification on site with airtightness, surface cavity battens and stuff like that, then it's cost neutral for materials. You'll gain speed on site, especially doing two-story houses where you're not climbing up the scaffolding with a sheet of plywood, nailing it on there, getting someone to cut it up, so it's all done on the flat.
Yeah, I think it's a really valid point. What are you comparing it to? Are you comparing it to the building code? And why do you do that? Because building code is basically not fit for purpose. And so you're sort of comparing it to something that you'd never do anyway, or we'd never do. We start at base Superhomes, and better and best. This one's best, but if you're on a budget, it could be base or better.
Because you're not really comparing apples for apples when you're comparing Superhome or Passive House with Building Code. It's apples and lemons. It's not even, it might not be a fruit analogy. It might be a fruit and vegetable one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be a mouldy fruit and
Exactly.
nice fresh juicy fruit. Yeah, but the reality is, you got to be thinking about what's fit for purpose and and what the end game is, and also what the cost is over time. So this house here is zero carbon, but it's also going to be zero energy. So it'll be producing more energy than what's being used. And so if you think long term and think about your power bill and what would happen if you had no power bill, and that's really has a big impact on decision making around affordability and costs.
Yeah, and it's payback on like people get too worried about how much it costs up front. They always never think about what they're paying over time, or what's costing them over time, which is gets reduced. So in the time, it's going to be you'll be making money. There's a lot of people that have large solar arrays, and like that one that you did ages ago in Prevalent, where they've got low energy house, solar panels, batteries, paying into the grid, whilst charging the EV and zero energy throughout the whole year.
Yeah, and the other thing in terms of costs and affordability and value is these houses are actually much more valuable. So we've sold 2 now, and there's only one left for sale. But
This one?
Yeah, this one here. And we're keeping House A. So they actually sell for 20 to 30% more than a typical code minimum home. So you're building better equity, you're building better quality, you're enjoying that in the comfort, the warmth, the better health outcomes, the lower power bill. So it's a more valuable investment from day one. So you kind of can have your cake and eat it too.
And they're great examples of what can be done. So the good thing about these particular homes is obviously we're showcasing what can be done with low carbon, low energy and good design. It's 27 degrees today, and we went into the houses that have still got the garage doors aren't on, so they're still not fully enclosed, but you walk in, and I'm sure they're only 18 degrees in there.
Yeah, it's a big big contrast, eh?
Yes.
Like I remember even before they were lined, there was some days in January where it was like 30 plus degrees, and they were still beautiful and cool. They're quite cool houses, even if I do say so myself.
No pun intended, all pun intended.
And we have no doubt they'll be very warm and winter. It works both ways. And the key to that is they've got really good shading, so they've got decent overhangs, 900 plus overhangs on the sunny side. The idea of this project is we're just going to share all the ideas. So there'll be an event in a month or 2 where you can come and see it under construction, and then it'll be great because you'll be able to see a completed home and then one that's at a really informative stage of the build, so see what's going on behind the scenes. So if you stay tuned, we'll let you know the dates for those events coming up soon. Ciao for now.